Hi there, it's Melissa and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a really special collaboration with Danni Vee, and we are basically scrapping our babies. I think it's Danni's second child and my fourth child. We have not scrapbooked much of them being babies, and I was starting to feel not bad, because we don't want to feel bad in the aspects of our hobby, but I guess I was feeling intimidated because the photos are so precious. It's my last baby, or I should say our last baby, and yeah, I found that scrapping her older and more recent was easier. It's actually Ava who I'm talking about, in case you're wondering. And what I've done with my other children is create a monthly album for them, and record milestones, etc., with each page that I've made, and I've put them in a not a D-ring album, but a post-bound album. And yeah, I haven't done that for Ava. I have done some baby photos, but I haven't done that for her, and I feel like I need to get on with that because she's nearly 3. And so Danni had mentioned that she hadn't done it either, or hadn't scrapped many photos of her child as a baby, so we thought, let's team up and make it happen. And so we're starting this month, and so with Ava I'm starting right at the very beginning. This is her as a newborn, and so with the monthly album that I create, the first page, aside from a cover page, which I'll do as well, is her as a newborn. So that's her there. And what I've got is this beautiful cut file. I can't remember what it's called, but it's from Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I've gone deep into my stash, and I have found the Simple Stories I Am collection. Kelly Moore sent me the collection kit a few years ago. It's absolutely beautiful. I haven't created anything with it, I think because it's so beautiful, but there's no time like the present to dig into your stash and use up older products. So I'm thinking probably that. Yeah, other options for a background was this one, but I don't know, because the title is beautiful with gold foil. You know, what I put, I am new, maybe, but I think I like the other one. I think I like that one. Maybe I like that one. Anyway, I will make a decision on that. I'm not sure at the moment, just so you see what the B-sides are. So Simple Stories, I'm not sure if it's still like this, but when this was made, this collection is what, 2015. Wow. It was made for pocket scrapbooking with lots of cut aparts. I mean, not just pocket scrapbooking, but there's definitely that in mind. So I'll move that away. So one thing I did think of was using this, all these little words on the bottom of the page, depending. I thought about cutting that apart too, but we'll see. Yeah, so to back the cut file, I've pulled some of the 6x6 paper. I'm not going to turn them over because these are the sides that I will want to use. So I want to back the stars and the moon with a selection of these, probably a bit of all of them. I think that one, oh okay, that's the side of that one. Yeah, so all of that, and a nice soft pretty colours. And then I think my daughter has used some of this, but the sticker sheet, and then the letter, and like these stickers as well. And they, like, I know this is a collection where you document yourself, but there's a lot of suitable sentiments like, you know, enjoying the little things, I am beautiful, loved, hope, yeah, fabulous, loved, I am here. And I think that'll work well for a baby. Sorry, that's and then I have this Joyful Day stickers that I just recently got, and I just love this, and I think one of these will work as well. So even some of the stars and things will work well with the collection, because I think the tones will work together. Oh, and then I have this, it's one of those cut aparts, and I've cut it apart. I think I have made one layout with this, because I have definitely cut into it. And so I thought about fussy cutting that, and somehow Oh no, we'll see. We'll see if the page is too busy, but that's my intention. I have 2 sick children. I have had sick children every week for the last 5 weeks, including myself being sick. So I am not going to back the cut file on camera for that reason. I'm going to do it tonight, and I will come back once it's backed. If you need to see how to back cut files, you can look further back in my playlist, where there's plenty of examples, or you can head over to Confessions of a Paper Addict, where Virginia has got, in fact I might even link it, I'll link them below. She's got 2, I think 1 or 2 videos on how to back cut files. So yeah, stay with me and let's get started. Okay, so I still have 1 sick child today, and she's currently having a sleep, so I thought I'd jump on here and get as much of this done as possible. I am sorry about the shading. There's actually nothing I can do about it without lights, but I am in the process of trying to get some, or looking into them. So here's where I got to. So I backed this cut file with all those 6x6 papers from the paper pad, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. And I had these 2 choices for background paper. So the I Am, like their signature one from the collection, which is called I Am. No, it's not. It's called Beautiful. Or this brick wall one, which is called Grateful. And as much as I love this one, and it would have worked really well because I probably would have tucked my photo kind of like that, I am just really drawn to this one. So we're going to go with this one and going to make this work somehow. So yeah, stay with me and we'll get started. So now that I'm fully committed to using this page, I needed to cut the branding strip off, and I am really happy that I am going with this background paper. Sometimes I think that pattern papers that have something on the background like this can be quite difficult. So yeah, sometimes it's easier to not use them as a background, to cut pieces out of them. But in this instance, I think the cut file works perfectly, and I think the sequins in particular on that background paper help play off the cut file. So I'm using my scrapbook adhesives foam squares. I'm using the big ones and the small ones, and they are all the same height. And I needed to put a square on every single star, including the little tiny ones, and also on the back of the moon. And I just love the way that that adds some dimension. I did think about doing some mixed media on this background, even just a few splatters. I had some Spiegelmom scrap sequins out that I was going to add, but in the end, I think because the cut file is like a big embellishment, and because the photo is so precious, and it didn't need too much is what I'm trying to say. So I pulled these, I think they're from Felicity Jane, some puffy little alphas in black, and I decided to go with the title I Am New, and I added a couple of asterisks just to draw your eye into it. And there really wasn't any more room for anything else in terms of a title. I think because that paper has I Am printed on it, and it's in gold foil as well, that it really does draw your eye there. And so the best thing I could think of was just to put the word new. I thought of maybe having brand new, or I don't know, newborn, but no, it's self-explanatory. And when I add the journaling, which is just the facts about how she was born, what time she was born, and her length and her weight, that was all that was needed. So here it can be a bit difficult sometimes adhering a cut file, because when you have everything with adhesive, it can be stuck easily in the wrong place. So if you wanted to be a bit more careful with this cut file, you could do maybe half, or just do the top half with the adhesive dots and remove the backing, and then you could lift up the other bits that are hanging down and remove the backing. But it worked out, and I'm happy with it. So then I decided to add her name, which is Ava Quinn, and I was a little bit nervous because I wanted to make sure it all fit, and it did. And then I was just looking at these stickers, and like I said before, I didn't want to over embellish. This just needed a little bit of embellishment. It's very there's something about baby photos, especially newborns, that are really delicate, and they're just, in my opinion, they don't need to be over embellished. And that's why I had a really big white border on that photo as well. So here I'm using the Joyful Day puffy word phrases and there's a few elements in there as well. So I've just gone with the flower and the 2 leaves. And then I decided I needed something to put the date on, so I've just fussy cut out this little label, and I've used my scissors to kind of do those edges where they're slightly rounded. So just looking at where I want to put it, and that seems to be the logical position there. So in terms of my journaling, I did think about just writing it on the paper, but then I decided that I needed something to the left of the photo because it's a little bit unbalanced. And so I just grabbed one of those cut aparts from the 6x6 paper pad, and it says I am, and I thought the lines on there were just perfect to add those statistics about her birth. So I added another flower just to balance it. I did have a little bit of trouble with positioning of those leaves, and then I noticed that the corner of the little journaling spot was visible in the middle of that flower, so I just trimmed it out with my scissors. It bugged me. The smallest of details can really bug me, and I knew if I didn't do it, I'd always look at this page and notice it, but no one else would have noticed it. So here I'm just adding my journaling, which is what I just said before, and then I will add my date on that other little label that I've cut out, and that is my layout. So it didn't really need anything else. It's really sweet, and I feel so better and so good now that I have made a start on her monthly album. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you check out Danni's video. I'll have a link below to her channel, and I think we'll be back again next month with the next installment in scrapping our unscrapped bundles of joy. Take care.